Hello?
Felipe. Hi, Thiago. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, crystal clear. What about you? Can you hear me?
Perfectly. Talita has joined us. Talita, is there an echo this time? Hi, Gracie.
Hey, Miguel, Talita, Josie, thank you very much.
Beaches. Oh, hello.
Really? A bit
Tássia,
está na
Maria
área?
Fernanda. Beaches, Miguel, Ritevarir, the whole
Uau!
instruction team. Hi, Larissa. Oh, it's perfect. So no echo this time. We
É, não.
fixed it. Good.
Yeah,
Good thing we tested it.
exactly.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello, Gracie. Vira a câmera, Nath. Vira para onde? Okay, upside down maybe.
Yeah, now it's
Like on the
better. Yeah,
side.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but I'm holding it, so that's no good. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Da, da, da. Okay. Ah, I'll have to hold it then. Okay. Hi. Hi, Suelen Gouveia from SRPV. Grace. Better? Ah, tá com a
Li-
Beats. O Rita tá com a Beats. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
There in Guará, I think.
oh, teaching then.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Good job. Um, Tiago. So as everybody knows, I'm very happy to have Tiago here. He's an
I'm the one
instructor
who's
and an
happy.
examiner. He's an examiner and an instructor, which I met quite a few years ago, and I'm proud to call him my friend and a teacher I deeply admire. I'm Natalia Guerreiro. I work for SRPV at Idiomas. And if you have any questions for him, you can type it in the box in English or em português. Vocês podem fazer as perguntas em português ou em inglês. A gente vai conversar em inglês porque vocês têm que ouvir esse inglês lindo do Thiago para
Please
acreditar
don't
que
do
não.
that, please. No, no, come on. It's a lot
Sem
of
pressão.
responsibility.
No pressure.
Okay.
Hi, Catarina. Hi, Vinicius. No pressure, right?
Oh,
Uh,
cat.
because because it's one thing to hear, oh, he's a level 6, né? Uma coisa a gente já sabia que ele é nível 6, outra coisa é ouvir que esse inglês aí saiu de um inglês nível 3.
Yeah,
And we're gonna
that bit is true.
all hear it. He went from level 3 to level 6. But before you talk about it, Thiago, can you tell us a bit about your career as a controller? Where have you worked?
Well, I started in 2008 in São Paulo. I worked at March Tower. There, I was an operator, but also an instructor. It was the first time I became an instructor. Then I moved to São José, which is still São Paulo state. So I worked for about 3 years in São José dos Campos.
So
At
you
the time,
started SRPV.
yes, SRPV. And for a long time, by the way, 8 years to be more specific.
Uh-huh.
And at São José, in São José, I worked at the tower, but also I worked with safety, investigation, and things like that. And then in 2015, 16, we moved, me and my family, to Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, which is where I was born in the first place. And I worked at Natal Tower for almost 3 years.
Good, good.
And was an
And
instructor there as well.
you mean an ATC instructor?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good. So always teaching a little.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Junior. If you have any questions, write them down. Write them here in the comment box. And what have you learned in those places?
Well, it's really hard to say because, we always learn a lot. So working in São Paulo is a real challenge because of the amount of traffic and the complexity, especially in Marte. Thalita can confirm. You don't have instrument flights. However, the amount, the complexity of visual traffic, I mean, helicopters, it's really hard to cope with. And it was my very first place. I mean, I started my career in Marte. And starting in such an environment, it was really challenging, but also rewarding. Then I moved to São José. Although the amount of traffic, the volume was not as high as in Marte, the different types of aircraft, the different performances, because we've got the Aeroclube, and then we've got Embraer, we've got the Brazilian Air Force with JV and other types of flights from the military. It's really hard to deal with the different performances. And the same happens.
Test flights too.
Yes, right? Exactly. And what is interesting about São José is that since Embraer sells aircraft for many different countries, I got the chance to be in touch with different accents, English accents from people from different countries such as Russia, China, Japan. You know, so that was, I guess, one of the most interesting parts of working in São José. And then when I moved to Natal, although Natal Tower deals only with military aircraft, Natal has got 3 runways. And after they leave Academia da Força Aérea, all the pilots must go to Natal to finish their training, to become pilots. So at some time during the year, it's crazy there. I mean, they train all at the same time, so it's a real challenge, I'd say.
Did you work with the defense too?
No, never.
You know?
And if I'm not mistaken, as a civilian air traffic controller, I'm not sure if we are allowed to work at air defense. I'm really not sure. Never heard of anyone that is a civilian air traffic controller working with air defense.
So if you don't know Thiago personally, he is an Air Force controller, but he is a civilian. He's not a sergeant, okay? Although you were in the military in the past, right?
Yeah, that's true. I worked for the Brazilian Army a long time ago, yeah, for five-ish years. And yeah, good memories from the Army.
Good. You went from level 3 to level 6. How did that happen?
Well, my first police, I got level 3, and then the following year, level 4. After 3 years, which is the regular time we've got to wait until we can sit the exam again, I got flat 5, which is 5, but in all aspects.
So pronunciation 5, structure 5, vocabulary 5, comprehension,
exactly. Yeah,
fluency and interactions 5.
And then after that, it was in 2012. In 2014, I asked to be evaluated again, but didn't get level 6. Then the following year,
level 5
again, but a little bit better. I mean, half 5, half 6.
So an improvement. Okay.
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah. And then the following year again, but it seemed nothing changed. I mean, I got the same scores And then I gave up because I thought, well, I'm not improving my English. I don't know what I've been doing wrong. So I gave up. And then in 2018, 2017, I gave it another shot and then eventually got level 6, 2017.
Então, para quem não acompanhou, ele tirou um 3 na primeira vez que ele fez o EPI. No ano seguinte, ele fez de novo e já tirou 4, né? Aí teve que esperar 3 anos para fazer a prova de novo. Fez e tirou 5, mas um 5 só com 5, sem nada mais. Aí ele quis fazer de novo para ver se ele tirava o 6. Tirou metade 5, metade 6. A nota final, como vocês sabem, é sempre a menor. Ele ficou com 5. Aí ele, não, vou tentar de novo. Aí tentou e fez, tirou de novo metade 5, metade 6. E ele achou que não tinha melhorado. Só que não dá para saber, né? Por quê? Porque quando você tira uma nota, o avaliador não te fala se você tirou aquela nota um 5, que é quase um 4, ou um 5, que é quase um 6, né? Então você não sabe em que parte está ali. Você pode ter melhorado e a nota continuar mesmo. Tanto é que depois ele tentou de novo e tirou tudo 6. Foi em 2018. And now you are an examiner because you are a level 6, right?
Yeah, the same year I got level 6, I got the chance to go to ICAO and do CTP 019, if I'm not mistaken, which is the examiner, the raters course, and became an examiner and a police rater and interlocutor.
Okay, fantastic, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we're very happy to have you on the team. You are an asset.
And I'm very proud of being part of such a team of great professionals, really.
Yeah, I'm very proud. Our team is very good, if I can say so myself. But the question everybody has is, how did you improve your English so fast? I mean, from 3 to 4, it was 1 year. How? How did you do that? From 3 to 4.
Yeah, I've got a secret, and I'll tell you what my secret is. There's no secret at all. There's no secret. Actually, there is. There is a few. But to begin with, it wasn't that fast. I mean, of course, I had to wait until I could take the test again, but it wasn't so fast. I mean, it takes time to learn a second language. And you know what? I really feel that way. It was only when I stopped taking for granted that attending a regular course and once or twice a week, I would end up learning English. It was only when I took full responsibility for my own learning that I really started to get the hang of it. I really started to feel, well, now I see real improvement. Now I see I'm learning English effectively, you know? So what I did at the time, when I became level 5, and there was an opportunity for me to become an instructor, and then I went for it. And since I started being an instructor, an English instructor, I thought, well, now I am responsible not only for me, but also for my students. And since then, I have never stopped studying. And this is me. So
Josie asked if you took an English language course.
I did, yes, indeed. I studied at Cultura Inglesa for 2 years. Yeah, of course. When I was São Paulo. When I was 18 years old, I studied. When I joined the Brazilian Air Force, I was at an intermediate level, more or less, because I kept on studying, but stopped and resumed, stopped and resumed. But it was only when I became an instructor that I resumed my studies, doing a course, and it took me 2 years, you know. So I started in 2012 and stopped in 2014-ish.
Josi, então ele falou que ele já tinha feito o curso de inglês antes de entrar na Força Aérea, mas ainda assim ele tirou o 3, né? Ele conseguiu tirar o 4 sem fazer o curso de inglês, e foi quando ele virou instrutor que ele resolveu fazer a cultura inglesa para melhorar e levar do 4 para o 5 e do 5 para o 6. Mas uma coisa que ele falou que é muito importante é que não bastava o curso de inglês estar lá, né, de corpo presente.
Não.
Foi só quando ele assumiu realmente que a responsabilidade era dele, né? I think I compare learning English a lot to a program of exercises and dieting, right? If you only go to the gym, it's not going to make much of a difference.
I see where you're coming from. Exactly, that's the point. Because, and there is those promises, okay, learn English in half of time. How is that even possible? If you study regularly and each and every day, it's not half of the time comparing to twice a week or once a week, you know? So that's the idea. So you have to make an effort and be responsible for your own learning process. That's yes, my secret.
Many people say, oh, I want to travel abroad because I believe only when we travel abroad do we learn English. But then they travel abroad and they take a course for 6 hours a day. Well, if you study 6 hours a day, it could be in Brazil.
Exactly.
You will learn. But nobody studies 6 hours a day. That's the difference.
Yeah, this week I saw that Ricardo Barros, you know Ricardo Barros, he's a very famous ELT professional, and he didn't learn English abroad. I mean, he learned English in Brazil, and so did I. You know, so it's really possible. You see, it's really possible to master the English language without having to live abroad or to study abroad. You know, I'm not saying that it's not good, it's not possible or advantageous, but yeah, that's the idea. That's the point.
Então, gente, é o que ele está falando. Morar fora, fazer curso fora é legal, né? Sem dúvida, ninguém está falando que não é legal. Mas não é necessário. Tanto ele, quanto eu, quanto muitos professores que a gente conhece, aprenderam inglês. Muitas pessoas que a gente conhece aprenderam inglês muito bem no Brasil, né? Made in Brazil, our English. But okay, you took responsibility for your learning. But what does that mean exactly? What would you do? What was your routine like?
You know what? This is not advice because most people hate, let me put it this way, most people hate studying grammar. I love studying grammar, especially because I teach grammar, because I prepare students to take the entrance examination for the Brazilian Air Force to become sergeants. So I also teach them reading skills and interpretation, text interpretation and grammar. They don't need to speak, they don't need to have a good listening comprehension and so on. So I like studying grammar. And what I did is I studied one chapter of a book, a grammar book, each and every day. So 1 unit every day. I also
like English Used by Murphy?
Exactly that one. So I started from the basic, the red one, and then moved on to the blue one, which is the intermediate.
This one is an old edition.
Yes, because
the new one is red. Se vocês quiserem comprar essa gramática básica aqui, ela agora é vermelha e ela tem a opção de ser em português também.
Really?
Wow. De entender a explicação em inglês, isso. Você pode comprar ela bilíngue. So he used this grammar, Raymond Murphy, basic grammar in use, and what else?
Yeah, I watched videos on YouTube. So there are some channels I still recommend my students watch. Engvid, AngloLink, English in Brazil. Is it English in Brazil? From Karina.
Karina Fragoso, yes.
Fragoso. Wow, she's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah, and plenty of resources online these days. So there's no excuse for not studying on your own. So that's what I did.
Você pode, por favor, digitar os canais que ele falou? Foi o English in Brazil, da Karina Fragoso. Engvid, então só o início da palavra English, com só o início da palavra video, que é um outro que é recomendado. What else did you say?
Yeah, AngloLink. From Mino. But also Denilson de Lima with Inglês na Ponta da Língua.
Yes, very good too.
Oh, amazing. And he's a very nice person. English Experts, Tecla SAP, you know?
Yes.
Those channels. But they are also blogs, not only YouTube channels, but also blogs.
Engvid, Thalita, sem o el, Engvid. Só iniciozinho da palavra. Então, obrigada, Thalita. Oi, Nath. Muita gente, o Fran está todo feliz de estar falando aqui, de estar te ouvindo. Inglês na ponta da língua. Franz is another one with a success story. But it's very important. Tem muito recurso hoje em dia, de graça, né? É só vocês ficarem ligados nessas dicas que ele está dando. Se vocês entrarem no nosso site bit.ly/anayonu, lá também tem uma seção de dicas de coisas que a gente recomenda, que a gente já viu que são bons. Não quer dizer que vai estar tudo certo, mas é que no geral tem uma qualidade ali apresentada. Por quê? Porque como hoje em dia qualquer pessoa pode criar o seu canal, tem muito canal por aí que ensina coisa errada, então tem que tomar cuidado, tá? Esses que ele falou são todos muito bons. E também temos mais lá no nosso site bit.ly/anayonu. Okay, so thank you for your tips. And you already said some of the things you recommend to your students in terms of websites. But in terms of habits, what do you recommend to your students?
As I said, I never stopped studying, especially because when you teach, you should not take for granted that you know things. So, for example, I pronounced the word pudding as pudding. I don't know why, but then I persistently pronounced it as pudding. But one day I looked it up and found out it was pudding, not pudding. So things like that. So I try to review things that I think I know, maybe to see on a different perspective, and those are the things I still do. I listen to the radio every day, so you can pick a country and then choose one of their radios online and then listen to it. I myself listen to LBC from London, but there are many options out there. What else? I read books. What I do is I read one book in Portuguese and another one in English at the same time. So, and I think it's one of the best ways to get vocabulary, to learn vocabulary. And passive vocabulary.
Yes, ICAO thinks so.
Yes, still.
ICAO thinks so too. A gente sabe que controlador precisa mais falar e ouvir, né? Mas a ICAO também recomenda que os controladores leiam, porque lendo você aprende, como o Thiago falou, muito vocabulário, right? And you can read
Yes,
things
and
about aviation if you prefer.
yes, of course. And guess pretty much what everything does, watching films and TV shows in English. I still watch them with English subtitles. I don't like watching without subtitles. Uh, I guess this is, I still do it on a regular basis. So what
Yes,
about TV
Vitor,
shows? Avadia is
Avadia asked
asking.
about TV shows.
So I have my own preference. Yes, I have my own preferences. But in terms of platforms, there is Netflix, Prime Video, but also there is one from Russia called Ororo, Ororo, Ororo.tv. It is supposedly to learn English, but it's similar to Netflix. So you may subscribe to it and even download films and TV shows. I really like Aurora because of that. They've got the original sounds, and then you can add English subtitles.
Miguel is talking about podcasts. Do you like listening to podcasts?
Yeah, much as I do, I'm not a podcast person because I don't know. With time constraints, you've got to make decisions, to make choices. So I really prefer listening to the radio instead of listening to a podcast. But I do like some of them. But unfortunately, I haven't got any to recommend. But of course, there are plenty.
Mas para quem gosta de podcast, tem sobre tudo quanto é assunto.
Yes,
né? Também tem
absolutely.
os YouTube channels, inclusive sobre aviação. Em geral, eles são para pilotos, mas tem muito de canal de YouTube para aviação. E você pode, alguns têm até a transcrição. Então, se você tiver dificuldade de listening, dá para você ouvir e depois ler para ver se você entendeu a mesma coisa que foi falado. Right? You've talked about being in the military. Have you ever traveled abroad, though?
Yes, I have. I mean, my first trip outside Brazil was to Argentina and Uruguay when I was in the army, but to an English-speaking country. I went to the US on holidays in 2015. But I also got the chance to travel to the UK, to England, because of the Brazilian Air Force. And I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity.
Pois é, gente. O Thiago passou um mês na Inglaterra. Foi um investimento da Força Aérea. O Mauro Macedo está recomendando podcasts no Deezer, tá? E foi junto com a Carol, que está aqui falando o
Yeah, Carol! Hey,
né?
Carol!
O que você foi fazer na Inglaterra? What did you do there? And what did you learn?
Well, we took two different courses. One for English examiners. Actually, the RETA course took only 1 week. Before that, we kind of studied to sit the IELTS, and then we took the IELTS. Then the second week we studied to become a rater of English for Aviation, because at the school in Plymouth, which is the Mayflower College, they have their own exam based on ICAO and such like. And then we trained to become examiners, raters of the tests of English for Aviation. And then the 2 last weeks, we took a course on teaching English for Aviation.
Cool. And what did you learn there? Well, what do you learn? Not necessarily from the course, but from the experience as a whole.
Oh my goodness. I could not tell you because the experience was fantastic. I mean, having studied at Cultura Inglesa and being in contact with people that taught or spoke like such kind of English. And then being there, having the chance to go to London, to drive
on the wrong side
on
of
the
the
wrong
road,
side of the road.
on the road.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. And it was not 1 week or two; it was for 4 weeks. And I stayed at a family's house, so I made friends with people from there. It was also really amazing, really.
Cool. A fantastic experience. I'm sure. But Alvadi, I asked if you recommend any shows to elementary basic English learners.
All right, so if you are an elementary, I wouldn't recommend The Big Bang Theory, for example, because I still struggle to understand their English. But then...
Well, there's the physics of it too.
Yeah, you see? So, English, very specific kind of English. But I don't know. Very good one, because lots of American expressions and I don't know really. I watch many different TV shows, but my favorite ones are Game of Thrones, The Big Bang Theory. I've just finished binge watching Little Fires Everywhere, which is I strongly recommend, and it's easy. No, I mean I wouldn't say easy, but yeah, it's not that hard to understand. But I've never thought about that. I mean, a TV show for an elementary student.
Tem alguns que são mais difíceis, né? Tipo, esses históricos, Game of Thrones, né? Esses são mais difíceis. O Friends, por exemplo, ele é mais do dia a dia, então ele é um pouquinho mais fácil. O Mauro Macedo recomendou aqui. E se você já conhece o episódio, também fica mais fácil de você ver em inglês,
Exactly.
com a legenda em inglês, né? Com closed captioning. E aí você vai aprendendo ali o que está falando. A Carol está perguntando, what do you do to learn idioms, phrasal verbs, and such like?
Yeah, what I do and what I also recommend my students do is to get rid of lists. So avoid studying those those from lists, and pick one or two and try to see them in context and put them into practice. So use them as much as you can until you have mastered them. So since you've mastered one or two expressions, then move on to the next bit. That's how that's what I recommend my students do, and that's what I applied myself.
Porque ele está falando para estudar vocabulário e tal, especialmente as palavras mais difíceis e tal, não ficar com uma lista enorme, aprender, pegar e usar uma ou duas até você aprender e aí você vai para as próximas. O que ele está falando tem muita pesquisa já em cima, que uma lista de vocabulário você acaba confundindo uma com a outra, uma palavra com a outra e acaba não aprendendo nenhuma. Então é importante isso de usar e ficar focando em duas, depois mais. And that will add up. Thiago, you've been in touch with other controllers and pilots from around the world. How was that, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, this happened unexpectedly. I'm part of a Facebook group of air traffic controllers and pilots. And then this woman, Valerie Wilson, she's a French English teacher, but she works for the French Air Force. She invited us, or the ones who were feeling like it, to join a group of conversation in English. It is not to teach or for you to learn English, but it's for us to be in touch and to exchange experiences, and it's really rewarding. And because we can talk about the differences between the countries in terms of air traffic control. We've talked about English proficiency as well, exams, salaries, things like that. And I've only participated in one meeting, but there has been more, and probably this month I'll participate in another one. You know, so there are people from France, from South Africa, from the Middle East, from Brazil. Not only me, but I've seen a guy, Bruno. I don't know him, nor where he's from, but he's a Brazilian air traffic controller too.
Cool. You said that when you got first, if you weren't here at the beginning, he got a 3, then a 4, then a 5, but all 5. And then he got 5 with some 6s, and then again 5 with some 6s. And he was discouraged. He felt demotivated because he had the same grade again. I said that doesn't mean he hadn't improved. Sometimes the grade is the same, but you have improved your English. But what did you do to motivate yourself again to study and become 6?
You know, I was moving from São Paulo state, from São José to Natal. And I spent 1 year in Natal without working, without teaching, without working with English or teaching English. And then in 2017, I started teaching at a language institute there, Cultura Inglesa, Natal. And I started doing the CELTA course, which is a course or certificate for teachers of English, for other speakers of other languages. And then I felt, well, maybe this is the time, you know. I've been studying even harder. I was also preparing to sit the CPE, studying with a friend of mine, Igor Cavalcanti. And I just felt like doing it again and giving it another try, you know. And it was really worth it because it worked, you know. I did the EPLES the Monday after I arrived from São Paulo from my CELTA course. So, you know, I had spent 2 weeks speaking English every day, teaching English and receiving feedback, giving feedback. I guess that helped a lot.
A small correction, though. Igor Cavalcanti is my friend. I lend him to you, but he's my friend.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Kidding.
I'll give you that.
Just kidding. And if you don't know what he's talking about, CELTA é curso da Universidade de Cambridge. Ele fez curso da Universidade de Cambridge que dá treinamento inicial para professores. A gente fala inicial, mas é dos cursos mais difíceis da história, né? Os militares que fizeram falaram assim, nossa, nem o treinamento militar é tão puxado. Assim, que eles acharam muito puxado o CELTA. É curso difícil. E ele passou com A, ele não vai contar, mas eu conto, porque eu sou deste. Então ele passou com A, ou seja, que é professor plus master, entendeu? E essa prova que ele falou assim, eu fiz o CPI, é a prova de inglês mais difícil do mundo, não é inglês de aviação, é inglês geral, também é da Universidade de Cambridge, é a prova de inglês mais difícil do mundo. Ele fez e passou super bem. So, he does have I thought Mauro had, he does have a great level of English, and he studied a lot to achieve it. Mauro had asked about Friends. Eu acho que eu falei, Thalitinha, que o Friends a Carol já ia entregar, que ele tirou a
Carol,
entendeu?
come on, Carol.
O IELTS também. A IELTS também, ele chegou e arrasou. Carolina também. Carolina tá aqui, Carolina Mendes, do Sindac tá 4, também arrasou no IELTS. Também aprendeu muito bem. A Larissa está estudando bastante para a prova. Você tem alguma coisa, alguma dica? Do you have any tips about the please exactly? Specifically?
Well, yeah, it's not only about a please, but you may apply it for to any exam. I mean, improve your English proficiency overall, but also be familiar with the exam. You know, get to know what you are expected to. You know, so doing both things will help you to get the grades you want to.
Então, ele está falando aí, gente, que não serve só estudar para a prova em si. Tem que estudar o inglês, melhorar o inglês. Né? No caso, o inglês de aviação.
The most important bit is to improve your English proficiency, to study the language, not only for the exam.
Yes. To improve your English. Se não tiver, é uma prova de inglês. Se você não tiver com inglês no ponto, não vai passar. Mas também conhecer a prova. Porque às vezes você conhece, você sabe o nível de inglês, não conhece a prova. Eu vi muito isso aplicando como examinadora. A pessoa faz uma bobagem ali porque ela não conhece a prova e pode ali acabar perdendo a nota. Né? Mauro is right, study for life. Mas, até porque a gente vai estudar em primeiro lugar para aumentar a segurança de voo. Né?
Yeah, after all, that's the main purpose of it, please.
Yes.
Yeah, the main purpose of it is safety.
Safety first. So safety first, improve your English, and then the exam. But it's important to know the exam too, right? Yeah. Quem é do SRPV, a gente teve um treinamento agora em julho. Alguns instrutores estão aqui, o Ritter Varir, o Franz, a Thalita, a Suelen Gouveia, e a gente deu dicas de cada parte do EPLIS. Se vocês perderam, podem pedir para o idiomas, a gente dá um jeito, o material está disponível, mas dá um jeito de repetir, se vocês precisarem. Oh, Michele, come visit. I would love to visit you, Michele, but you are in London. So it's a little difficult because of quarantine. The quarantine is a big problem. Right? Okay, any other questions to Thiago? Why so beautiful? No, outra pergunta. Why so wonderful? No. Oh, thank you, me. Any other questions? No? So thank you very, very much, Thiago.
Thank you, Nachi. Thank you for the honor of being the first to participate in this series of lives. Really grateful for being your friend and having been given this opportunity.
Oh, it's an honor to us that you're here, really. But last question, just one before you leave. We call it like a doorknob question. How did it feel when you got the level 6?
Me, I couldn't believe it. I felt on cloud 9, really, because I'd been trying it for so long, and then it's there. I got it. So I felt really elated, and felt like, wow, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Hi, Ellen. No, don't worry. Felipe asked about it, please, this year. The honest question is, we don't know yet. Essa decisão não fica com a gente, essa decisão é do DCEA. E assim que o DCEA nos comunicar, a decisão a gente vai passar para todo mundo do SR, tá bom? Okay, thank you. And he was elated when he got level 6. Very difficult word. It means he was very, very happy. So thank you very much, Thiago. I admire
Thank
you
you
a
again,
lot. And it's
Chi. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy your
such a pleasure
day.
to hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Bye-bye,
And
everyone. Thank
bye-bye.
you very much.